If you ask anyone who's in my circle, they would tell you, like, you're supposed to be a tennis pro. I trained every day, like 6 to 8 hours a day playing tennis. I did not touch a basketball.
Her dad is the tennis coach, so he coaches at 2 different high schools. He coaches the girls' team at Regina Dominican, and he coaches the boys' team at Niles North. And so he just watched what the Williams sisters had done. And so now he's training Jewell, and Jewell is on the path.
You're thinking, okay, I want to develop an athlete, you know, the coaching part, the dad part, everything, and it's just a great game.
And I remember going down in our basement, we had this big old wooden TV, and my dad's, putting in Pete Sampras tapes, and I'm like, who is this guy? And we're watching hours of tapes of Agassi and Serena Williams and Venus, and sharing the game with me that he loved and grew to love. And you're gonna work hard, we're gonna be out there. And I just remember hours and hours on the court with my dad.
They were playing tennis all the time, one-on-one playing. And then she started getting into matches and she started winning.
My dad was like laughing, and he's like, you know how hard it is to practice for a week and then go out there and beat the #1 ranked person in Chicago? It didn't really dawn on me. I mean, yeah, but like, I know I'm good.
We saw her talent as being that next, Serena, but basketball kind of got a hold of her.
I said, hey, you like basketball? And her dad stepped right in front of her and said, she plays tennis. She's a tennis player. And I looked her dad right in the eyes and I said, we'll see.
So this was supposed to be my tennis girl. Then one day she said she hated it, and that was it. I said, well, I'm not paying for your college because I see it in you. And it kind of turned out.
You didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
That's kind of like the basketball story. I was just so mad at her. But yeah, was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, you didn't talk to me.
And you forgot she said, trust me, I want to play group sports, not individual, but trust me, I'm going to be good one day.
Yeah.
If you just trust me, I will be the greatest.
She really idolized Jared a lot, her brother, and that's when she really turned her attention to playing basketball.
Jared Loyd, the senior from Niles West High School, looking for his 4th three-pointer, and he buries it. 14 first half points, the lead is 5 at halftime. Wow.
Jared was phenomenal, he really was. He also was one that just worked at his craft, worked at his game.
She always used to, want to come with me to the park, and she would just watch and sit and learn.
There's different parts that you kind of have to earn the credit for. You might be good at Columbia at 3-on-3, but 5-on-5 at Prosville, you're awful. You might have to hold your own at Drake, playing a lot of 21, a lot of 2-on-2. But if you need some reps, you got to go to Central Park.
I think just hopping from court to court to court always produce a different environment.
It wasn't easy to be able to leave your mark, but also get on the court. You had to earn it. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm here to play, you guys need an extra body. It was, we want to win, people want to stay on the court, people didn't want to wait, so the more you win, the more you stay on the court.
And then she and her brother became a team and started playing with people, and the word got around, oh, we got to go to Drake Park. Jewell and her brother are playing, and they're beating everybody.
There's a lot of Chicago street toughness in Jewell's game. She's all hustle, and she didn't care who she was playing against.
My guys, LH, we would go out there and study competition, see where our weaknesses were. A lot of trash talk, you would play till, it was dark. It was such a great way to grow up and watch the game of basketball. I think a lot of the visualization and understanding what I could do probably started in my room with the mini hoop and just counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and situation and playing a full game of basically one-on-one against my closet door, having that imagination of, okay, I want to be in game-like situations all the time. And then watching my brother play, it was a peak of Illinois basketball. So when I was, my time to go to Niles West, I wanted to have that same atmosphere.
When Jewell was here, it was a mini version of the Beatles. Wherever we went, she had the reputation. We'd go on the road, it'd be packed.
This right here, this is Jewell Loyd, baby. She's the truth.
She knew how to build a community, and people just loved to play with her. And so she was able to elevate kind of the other players.
She makes everybody else around her better. We saw that right away her freshman year. She's one of the most unselfish players I've ever seen in my life, where she had the same MO like her freshman year to senior year. The first quarter, I will get all my teammates involved. Then I will take over when I need to take over. I think she got more joy out of throwing a great pass to one of her teammates and teammate finishing, hitting a big shot.
That's a big deal to see that, I'm inspiring people to really change their mindset, their culture. They can do things. We can make history. We can make the top 25. It was just like really cool to see people just believing in themselves.
She was, just stronger, faster, and just had that will. And, it just hit her, and she was just unstoppable.
If it wasn't 30 points a game, it was right at 29 points a game. In a high school game, 32 minutes, while you're still trying to involve all your teammates. I think her high was like 19 or 20 rebounds. I think she averaged, her sophomore year, had like 99 steals.
To do what I did in high school and to break records and to do it in front of my family and friends, that's what I did it for. Best memories I have. Gotta go to college. These are great girls, and I'm gonna miss it.
I think during the recruiting process, you look at a lot of the intangibles, and you want somebody that just loves being in the gym and has a passion for the game, and Jewell had that.
I've selected Notre Dame. I already knew I was gonna leave college early. Like, before I even got to Notre Dame. Like, that was like my mindset. And the reason why is because in high school, I was able to practice with the Chicago Sky. 1, 2, 3.
So I was playing professional basketball internationally and came back, and I heard about the Sky wanting like practice players. So I was like, you know what? I should probably go check it out, and it would be good for my sister because I think she wants to be a pro.
I guess I didn't really realize like how vital me being a practice player was in high school. My development, my growth, my imagination, my confidence. I thought it was really cool to be able to go and see what it was like to be a WNBA player. Going to practices and watching what they do in film and seeing their habits was like the best way to get thrown in the fire.
You were killing the Chicago Sky, and you were in high school.
Damn. Yeah,
And that's a fact.
it's a fact.
She didn't even know what she was doing against some of the best players in the world at that time, and she was scoring 30. It wasn't a confidence thing. It was just, she was that good.
Good Boston over there, Swin. Good alley. Don't touch. I told my brother when I first started going, if I can score on them now, and I'm 125, and I still can't go left, I can't make threes, I'm still learning pick and roll defense, just wait till I understand, the whys. And I always believe that, it's like, man, I'm just doing this off just natural talent. I don't know anything. So let me start to really lock in, and I believe I'll be here soon. Notre Dame has been, Final Fours and historic runs and breaking records, and you kind of saw the team and how it was coming together. And we coming in as a freshman, there's obviously a lot of expectations.
Don't overplay.
I think when you get really good players, you start to feel like, I gotta be better.
There you go, Ace. Good job.
This is a really good team. We have a chance to get to the Final Four. This is something we haven't done in a while. We had won in 2001.
Notre Dame is the national champion.
I really felt like I had to really be on my game.
So we're trying to go, and we need to set good screens and transition.
I had to work a little bit harder to make sure that all of the really good players that we were getting, I was going to be able to get them to reach their potential.
Good work, good work. When we play the game, our goal is national championship. That's the kind of caliber of basketball I want to play.
And so when she got to Notre Dame, it was easy. Practice hard and you get in the games. Like, this is what you do. You find that way to, dig down, and you become who you are.
Jewell Loyd was one of these players, when you put the ball in her hands, you trusted the decisions that she was going to make, whether it was to get downhill and get to the rim, to pull the trigger, to make the right pass. And I think that she was really the nucleus of that Notre Dame offense.
The world has learned what Notre Dame fans have already known for years. Jewell Loyd is a special talent.
I think she could be the focus of the scouting report, and not a lot of teams even had somebody that was capable of guarding her because she was just that good. She was maybe the most talented player that we ever had, just based on sheer ability. We had great players around her, but she was somebody that could really step up and take over a game in certain situations. She had so many great games in the ACC. Clear choice for Player of the Year, an easy choice, I think, for MVP.
And there was no doubt about this one. Loyd was a unanimous selection, appearing on all 35 ballots. Yesterday, head coach Muffet McGraw said the Irish wouldn't still be playing without him.
Our team, I mean, we look at it every year and you're like, you're always in the conversation of, can they get to the Final Four? Can they win a championship? And I mean, we had a great roster that just fit well together. And we had to just live in a time of the UConn Huskies.
Connecticut has won the national championship again.
39-0, Connecticut is perfect.
The Huskies are the preeminent power in women's college basketball, but the Irish are one of the few teams not intimidated by UConn.
Notre Dame and UConn was like everywhere. That was the biggest rivalry in college sports. They were seen the most, on TV the most, talked about the most.
Another chapter in the intense rivalry between these two storied programs.
When Notre Dame and Connecticut really went through their battles throughout Jewell's career, it was always tough because it was probably the two programs that had the most talent on both their rosters.
Notre Dame, for them being in our conference, seeing them in the conference tournament, and then seeing them again in the NCAA tournament, we had to find a lot of different ways to try to beat them.
We ran into UConn pretty much every year in the Final Four, and Jewell was somebody that could really step up and make a difference in those games.
I mean, Jewell is, I don't even know how to describe her. Obviously, she's an incredible offensive threat. I mean, her three-point shot is ridiculous.
If I do my extra conditioning, if I do my extra shots, if I be a good teammate, we will always be in a position to win. We had the mindset, we had the depth. Obviously, we had coaching as well. I mean, we got to the Final Fours, but we could never get the job done.
This is now the third year in a row that their bitter rivals have ended their season.
We're more pissed off, than ever before, just because it's the same thing over and over. It's like on replay.
They're undefeated last year. They got a great team. They got great players. They've been to the Final Four 3 times in a row. And no matter what they do, it's Connecticut, Connecticut, Connecticut. I mean, at some point, you just kind of go, I'm sick of this.
If it wasn't for UConn being in that same decade, I think we probably won at least 2 or 3. But my number one goal was never to win a national championship. My goal was literally to get better, prepare for the W. Being the best college player is awesome and fantastic. And I know that I was, but I don't want to be a college player and then go to the pros and get forgotten. College was like the G League. College was like my way to develop. I was always just thinking I want to earn the respect of Gino and UConn. He produced the best players in the W. If I get the respect from him, I know I can get to the next level.
There's something about her that is different than any other woman playing college basketball today. The way she moves, the way she touches the ball, the way the ball comes out of her hand.
He loves people who are competitive, who want to win, who work hard, who put the team above themselves. And for Jewell to really just understand kind of his philosophy and be like, listen, they're the best, they're top dogs right now. I want to get in and see if I can take them down. I think that's what every great competitor does, and I think it's been a testament to her career.
Just one day after losing to UConn in the NCAA championship game, the Irish learned they are losing a key player as well.
You know that Muffet McGraw has been saying all year long that this team this year went as far as Jewell Loyd could really take them, and well, now she's taking her talents to the next level.
When Jewell made the decision to leave her college career early and enter the WNBA draft, she said that she had really spent a lot of time talking with her brother. Her brother really would give her a lot of advice in how she was to progress on and go on into her professional career.
It wasn't easy. It was against the grain. Only I think 2 players at that time had ever done it. Candace Parker and I think Epiphany Prince. Obviously, she made the right decision to do it, but it wasn't easy. A lot of preparation, a lot of research on my end, early meetings, just with agents, because she couldn't talk to them, but I did.
What you want, obviously, as Notre Dame and Muffet McGraw and her staff, is for the greats to stay as long as they can. But we also got to recognize what are their dreams.
You're loved, you're appreciated, you are doing great things for the university, like you're talked about, and everyone's like, yeah. And then you're like, I want to do something for me for once. And everyone's like, no, what are you doing? This is awful. And you just get criticized and you get, messages from your parents, getting messages, and your family getting notes, and everyone's freaking out about decisions that you're making. You kind of understand that you're kind of just a product.
Yeah, it was really disappointing because the way the WNBA draft is, she had to tell us immediately after the game that we lost. Sorry. And so it was a lot to take in. I really don't think I handled it well. I was just so disappointed with that, and then looking ahead thinking we're going to be really good next year. And of course, before the transfer portal, you had what you had, and I looked at that and thought, man, we could have been really good if you would have stayed one more year.
Ultimately, we kind of understood that, hey, this is a large institution. They're passionate about, Notre Dame basketball. They're passionate about, winning and getting to championships, but ultimately she had to make a decision that was best for not only her, but where we were as a family, too.
And at that time, too, I was like, I didn't know how long Maya, Diana, and Sue were still going to be around, right? Like, I wanted to go learn from them.
For her to be draft eligible and to go in and make the impact that she was able to make her entire career, Jewell Loyd was ready for the WNBA.